Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? Can you hear me okay? Oh, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Oh my goodness. Okay, how you going, Eyes to See? And Anne, Deb, Carl, Dealey, Starchild, how you going? Is everyone still on the other stream? I set up the other stream on Streamlabs and now I've got to update all the drivers for it, so I can't go live on there. Oh, this is insane. Okay, let me just move this over. I want to share the screen with you. I'm having a bit of a time of it, aren't I? Okay, let me show you something. Okay, so this is what happened. Appeal granted. Thank you for your appeal. We've determined that your content news update doesn't violate community guidelines. Your content is now live and I've been released from jail, apparently. Oh, it's insane, guys, honestly. Okay, let's get into the news. Hope everyone can come over from the other stream. Okay, Gaynor Fauci said breaking FBI to release Nashville Christian school hooter with an S in front of it, Audrey Hale's manifesto, as soon as they're finished writing it. That's what I think's going on. Funnily enough, I do think they are organising things. I don't know. So there you go. That's just a comedy thing, but I think that's what's happening. James Lindsay mansplaining the girl. I don't know what else is in there, but never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. Do not react. Do not give them trans Floyd or drag Floyd. Let them try and flip this script, but do not help them. It's morally and strategically wrong to respond to their provocations as they want you to. Turn the other cheek. And people are saying in the comments, look, we got here because we turned the other cheek. So make up your own mind, honestly. Josephine Cashman said the UN views Indigenous rights as collective, laying the basis for an end to Australian home ownership. The UN's agenda is for 80% of Australia to be given over by 2030 through the UN native title. Native title carves up Australia into First Nations controlled by UN actors, making agreements with corporate cartels to steal our resources to bring in UN global governance. This not only applies here, but in the US, New Zealand and Canada as well. Are you seeing the gravity of this? Do you realise we're on the brink of losing our homes and our country? Yeah, well, look, every time they say they're going to bring something in at a certain time or a certain date, I have a feeling that something big's going to happen before then. That's just my opinion. Josephine Cashman said, Paul Keating's native title law provides globalists with 80% of Australia to asset strip. Now, Paul Keating, his daughter, was caught coming out of Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment. Just remember that. Okay, Truth Ninja said one of the problems is this isn't RICO, it's counter intel. But the people in counter intel did this and thought it was them being patriots because Trump was a threat. Who watches the watchers? Julie Trimble said this is why they're so arrogant. The incestuous spider web of corruption runs so deep and far that it's hard for many to comprehend. One plan or DS operative gets caught, another pops up in its place. The only way we win is to completely hit it all at once. RICO Act. I didn't want to say that bit because God knows what YouTube will think I'm doing if I say that. Breaking 911 said, breaking Vatican, Pope to be hospitalised for several days for pulmonary infection. Had difficulty breathing in recent days, from the Associated Press. There you go. I don't know, Pope Francis, is it? Hospitalised. Pauline Hanson said Labor's record high immigration is literally forcing Australian families to live on the streets, and Anthony Albanese's Labor Party thinks it's a joke. Labor's response to my questions about their decision to increase immigration to over 650,000 for this year and next in the middle of a housing crisis is nothing short of disgusting, and it just shows you Penny Wong, the Wong one, right, stands up and answers Pauline's questions. She doesn't do a very good job of it. They're useless, pretty much. James O'Keefe said, let's recap. Through publicly available records, it was discovered that Maryland voters had excessive amounts of donations made in their names. We confirmed that they did not make these high-volume contributions. Okay. So James O'Keefe went to people's houses because they found a list of people who were continually donating to Act Blue. You know, that Act Blue thing for the Dems, right? Well, there were thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, and these people went knocking on the doors of the people who were supposedly giving the donations. And one lady said, no, I give $5 here and $5. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars here, right? One lady said, no, I'll give $5 every now and then, and he said, do you give up to like $50,000? And she said, no way. So they're using these people's names to somehow launder money to Act Blue, by the look of it. There are other senior citizens throughout the country matching this profile who may be additional victims of this scheme. Citizen journalists should visit this website to find data in their region, Election Watch. Want to upload your footage securely? Do so here. Haven't signed up to be a member of the OMG Citizen Journalist Army? If you're fearless with integrity, sign up here. Interesting. Armand Klein said to FBI, please order your best FBI agents and check this hooting with an S in front of it in Nashville and dip deeper than normal. Who knew about that family friendship from two of the victims in Nashville with Tennessee Governor Billy Lee's wife? Was this an ordered crime? This crime is more than strange. Prayers. Governor Lee says wife was friends of two of the victims. Maria Lee was to have dinner with one of the victims on Monday night. I think this was payback for bringing in the can't teach under 18s about Transformers, and that so they've stopped drag time story hour, and the other one was the operations. You can't give operations to minors. So this is what the payback is. They're going to take people out just because they cannot get access to the minors. Libs of TikTok said my book strengthens the family unit and teaches parents and kids to build a trusting relationship. Get your copy at Lotbook. So the Libs of TikTok have brought out a child's book for families, keeping families together instead of trying to divide them like the rest of them do. Such extremism terrifies the left, upholding traditional values such as the family unit. It does. It terrifies the left. Talk Radio 77 WABC. What's this? Oh, watch Rita Cosby discusses new details on the hooter with an S in front of it. Listen to the full video, but we're going to just listen to a little bit of it. Okay. The FBI again, they didn't do this. I mean, just the FBI should have put the person on a list, but also the parents, I don't know, the parents should have reported something because they knew something. Okay, I've just been told you can hear me, but you can't hear this. So give me 1 sec, guys, while I'm going to remove it. Stop this. Sorry, guys. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. How do I get rid of it? Stop the screen. There we go. Present. Oh, my goodness. It's because I didn't tick that little box. Share system audio. Hello. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. If you can just bear with me, I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go again.
Audrey Hale, 28 years old, was able to buy 7 guns legally at 5 different stores in that area. 7 guns. 7 guns. And she used 3 of them to commit the crime and kill all those people at the Nashville school. Of course, 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults. And when you hear the background of this individual, who would ever sell her a gun? And why was there nothing flagged in her case? That really is the big issue, because people who are selling guns can only go by the information that they're given. And apparently there was nothing in the record about her having mental issues, which she clearly did. She was seeing a doctor. We are also getting details that the mother was extremely concerned and the father extremely concerned. And they also knew that she had a gun. And this is where I throw the book at the parents tonight. To me, the parents of this person, I think, needs to be held responsible. We need to start waking up and saying, if you know that your child or your family member or friend or somebody has serious mental issues, so much so that they're seeing a doctor and that they had not institutionalized the person yet, but clearly thought there were some serious mental issues. And then you know that your child is buying at least 1 gun. Apparently there were 7, but they thought that maybe she had purchased 1 gun. And then they said, well, we thought she sold the gun. You know what? Maybe you need to do a better check because she's living in your house. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, so I honestly do think that
Audrey Hale,
the
28.
FBI should have had that person on a list, but you know what the FBI is like. They, they only go after like parents and Christians. And Gracie Nunyabiz said, given an amount of money to spend openly in the DOD budget, as well as dark money programs, original with Senator Harry Reid, to current White House budget, I'm glad Tim Bitchute is asking questions on behalf of constituents like me who want to know what it is we're paying for. So the black budgets and that. Defence.gov. Moving ahead in mission to identify anomalous phenomena. In July, the DOD set up an all-domain anomaly resolution office to, among other things, identify unidentified anomalous phenomena, which might pose a threat to national security in the operations of both the military and other federal agencies. This thing is anything in space, in the air, on the land, on the sea, under the sea that can't be identified, which might pose a threat. What is this? I thought they were looking at where money was going. Okay. It'd be nice to know, though, what their black budgets are spent on. I thought that's what it was about, but anyway, let's not worry about that. I'm having a really bad day, have you noticed? Jason FYK said, this is it. This is for all the marbles. Either the Supreme Court takes the case and fixes 230 or we may see some more dark days. A new docket entry distributed for conference of 4/14/2023 has been added for Jason FYK petitioner versus Facebook. You've been signed up to receive notifications. They're looking at 230, okay, which is big tech, social media, all that sort of stuff. Because if they're acting like, they're supposed to be platforms, but if they're acting like publishers, so if they're starting to limit what people can see, then they're acting as publishers and they should be held to account for everything on their platform then. Otherwise, they are platforms and they let people talk. The Daily Signal said developing DOJ discouraged marshals from arresting illegal protesters at Supreme Court justice's home. Senator says, you remember when the Supreme Court justices were being attacked at home? Yeah, well, the DOJ discouraged the US Marshals from arresting people. Okay, Liz Churchill said in Clown World today, the treasonous press secretary, I'm a black lesbian, stated that Biden wants to confiscate all AR-15s. She states Biden will sign the legislation to remove them all. Lol. I don't think he can.
Does the president support not just banning the sale and manufacture of semi-automatic weapons, but further than that, confiscation?
Let me just be very clear. What we're talking about, AR-15s, these assault weapons ban, they are weapons of war and they should not be on the streets across the country, in our communities. They should not be in schools. They should not be in grocery stores. They should not be in churches. That's what the president believes. And he has done more than any other president the first 2 years on an executive order. And as you know, we all know how government works. There's only so much that he can do. And so now it's time for Congress to do the work. And he's happy to sign. Once that happens, he's happy to sign that legislation that says, okay, we're going to remove assault weapons. We're going to have an assault weapons ban.
Does the president support?
It wasn't an AR-15, by the way. Anyway, let's not worry about that. They're just going after the AR-15s. Wayne Dupre said, will this happen in all states? South Carolina lawmakers tell foreign land investors they're not allowed anymore. I think the whole world should do this. Okay, aren't welcome anymore. South Carolina Senate recently approved legislation with the goal of keeping Chinese, Russian and other nations considered to be foreign foes from acquiring real estate in the state. According to those who supported the bill, which was approved on Thursday by a vote of 31-5, it reflects deteriorating US relationship with China, China is the largest security threat to the country, according to the Pentagon. In South Carolina, which is also the home to thousands of Chinese immigrants and college students, there are already dozens of Chinese-owned businesses. Republican Senator from Spartanburg, Josh Kimbrell, stated earlier this month that there has been a growing trend across the country, generally where China's gotten much more aggressive to the United States and our interests. Our goal is to avoid exposing ourselves politically and financially to the Chinese government or Communist Party as much as we can. In the past, South Carolina sought out Chinese businesses to assist in bringing jobs to the state, but as Kimbrell pointed out, attitudes towards Beijing have definitely changed. Chinese businesses have announced investments since 2011 that are expected to result in the creation of 5,300 new jobs. The state won't make an effort to compel land sales made in the past by foreign companies and individuals. According to reports, the bill was introduced in order to thwart a Chinese company's intended acquisition of 500 acres in South Carolina. Senator Shane Massey, the majority leader in the Senate, said last week to the Associated Press, "We need to examine inside that wooden horse before we let it in the gate. And some nations have given us further justification to check the inside of the wooden horse before letting it through the gate." Good idea. According to the US Department of Commerce, China, Russia, Iran, Cuba, and North Korea are the 5 hostile countries. Legislative bodies in at least 11 additional US states are debating legislation that would restrict or outright forbid foreign adversaries from owning real estate. Lawmakers have expressed concern that adversarial countries could utilize land ownership to boost their surveillance operations in the wake of last month's uproar over alleged Chinese spy balloon that crossed the US. A measure in South Carolina would forbid businesses owned more than 20% by people from hostile country from purchasing real estate. The purchase of real estate would likewise be prohibited for residents of certain nations. These foreign nationals would be permitted to establish enterprises in the state, but their businesses would not be permitted to own real estate, the real estate they occupy. I think the whole world should be doing that right now. Suzanne Seddon said military bases will be used for several thousand asylum seekers, including one in PM's constituency. Where's this at? This is Sky News. Oh, for goodness sake. Reject. It's going to bring another option up. Yep. Reject them all. Save an oh my God. Tory Council. So it's over in the UK. Threaten legal action over government plans to house asylum seekers at military bases. What are they doing? Are they importing an army? Like in France? UN army at all? I don't know, but it's just what it sounds like to me. And Bev here said that's the trouble with socialism. The government eventually runs out of other people's money. 7 News in Melbourne said thousands of public service jobs are on the line as the state government scrambles to rein in Victoria's record debt. The news broke as the Premier toured China on a secret trade mission even senior ministers admit they know little about. And this is Daniel Andrews, who's gone over to China. And while he's gone, they've released this. Service jobs are on the line. And there's a secret deal going on that no one knows about but Daniel Andrews. Wayne Dupre said it's not just the fringe of the Democrat Party anymore. Press Secretary for Dem AZ Governor Katie Hobbs resigns after posting tweet encouraging shooting transphobes. Jocelyn Berry, a top aide for Democrat Governor of Arizona Katie Hobbs, has resigned following an avalanche of criticism for posting a tweet encouraging the shooting of people who don't like Transformers. Berry's controversial tweet came hours after a 28-year-old Transformer artist slaughtered 6 people, including 3 children. As we know, you read that correctly. She posted this after. Okay, not before, after. Berry, who serves as Hobbs' press secretary and describes herself as a bird enthusiast with real feminist bent, there's the problem, posted a gif of a woman holding 2 handguns alongside the caption, "Us when we see transphobes." Yes, Jocelyn, that's literally what we just saw. That's what she posted. Unbelievable. But yeah, so there you go. Thank God she's resigned. George Papadopoulos said they are desperate. Do not be distracted, because there's going to be something's huge is coming. What's this? Major Trump case update. Trump Manhattan grand jury to break. Oh, they've put it off for a month. Oh, the Manhattan grand jury investigating Donald Trump's alleged hush money case with Stormy Daniels, which wasn't, is not expected to receive any evidence for the next month. The jury is also expected to take a schedule break in the coming weeks. As a result, a potential indictment will not happen until late April at the earliest. Now, see, things like this just make me think that something's going to happen before then. Brian Tyson, MD, said these people are idiots and should not be in charge of anything. Fire them all. Disclosed TV said, now, Yellen, climate change is an existential threat. This lady doesn't deserve this job, honestly. Yeah, it was a ice age in the 70s. Now it's global warming, and this woman's an idiot. Everyone wants a clean environment, okay? That's different than climate change, right? And the people who are destroying the environment happen to be the corporations and the people with the most money, mind you. She's an idiot. Sorry, Janet Yellen is an absolute idiot. Bernie's tweet said Italy government has approved a bill banning the production and use of lab-grown food and feed. Well done. The culture of Italy, its society, its heritage in wine and food, and its agri-industry outweighs the climate change bullocks. Bravo, Italy. Go, Italy. Huh. Okay, what's happening here? Let's have a look. It's a move to protect the health of Italians.
Prodotti da laboratorio non garantiscono, a nostro avviso, qualità, non garantiscono benessere, non garantiscono quella tutela anche, diciamolo con orgoglio, della nostra cultura e della nostra tradizione, che anche all'enogastronomia, alle nostre produzioni agricole, lega un pezzo della nostra civiltà e del nostro modello.
Advocates of lab-grown food say it's better for the environment. Singapore is the only country to have approved cell-based meat for consumption. What else have we got?
We wanted to get people excited about the future of food being different to potentially what we had before. That there are things that are unique and better than the meats that we're necessarily eating now. And we thought the mammoth would be...
He thinks that lab-grown meat's better than the meat we're eating now. Stop vaccinating the cattle and you'll be right, seriously.
...conversation starter and get people excited about this new future.
So there you go. Italy is going against it, and they're not going to have GMO foods and lab-grown meat. Well done, Italy. James Lindsay, mansplaining the girl, said they're trying to make trans Floyd out of a deranged murderer through victimhood. This is how the trans cult and the whole woke critical consciousness cult operates. Ginning up and exploiting existential fear until its victims are deranged. Victimhood is then projected. NBC News said, fear pervades Tennessee's trans community amid focus on Nashville shooter's gender identity. We were already fearing for our lives. Now it's even worse. Well, stop going and shooting people. For God's sake. Okay. Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus said we have been given many warnings about the deadly trans cults and what they're capable of. Let's have a look at this one. Hopefully this plays. Oh no, that's 5 minutes long. We'll play a little bit of it.
Modern trans movement is using the LGBT community as a shield to push their radical agenda of mutilation, sterilization, and indoctrination of minors. And as a gay man who represents the organization Gays Against Groomers, I'm here to make it loud and clear. The LGBT community is sick of being used as a scapegoat for these destructive practices that are ruining kids' lives before they ever even had a fighting chance. For years, the LGBT community has fought valiantly for tolerance and acceptance in American society, and in the year 2023, we have achieved that. Now, all our progress is being erased because our community has been hijacked by trans terrorists. The LGBT community is being used like a Trojan horse by extremists in a death cult to ruin the future generation of our country by destroying their bodies, creating irreversible damage, and lifelong medical patients before these kids ever reach puberty. And make no mistake, the radical trans movement has become a death cult.
There you go. So even the LGB community is asking to be taken out of take the T out of it, okay? And the plus and the whatever else. Andy No said Hot Lips Pizza, a woke Portland pizza chain that helped donate to BLM, SPLC, an illegal group that helps the violent Antifa members, announced as shutting down most of its locations. What will Antifa do? The announcement follows an avalanche of business closures in the city. Is that it? The consequences of leftist radical politics continue to be realised following the 2020 BLM Antifa riots, which the news didn't report on much. Christopher F. Rufo said the trans suicide blackmail, which threatened violence against self, was not enough to prevent state legislators from banning child sex change procedures. So now the movement proceeds to the second phase, trans vengeance, which threatens violence against others. And that is what we are seeing. I think it's a setup, seriously. The media will work itself into contortions to minimise, deflect, justify and deny the fact that radical trans activists like Antifa seek refuge in synthetic sexual political identities which serve as a mask for personal psychopathologies and a justification for violence. Brace yourself. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Powerful non-governmental organisations, media corps and medical systems have turned to trans child into a postmodern totem they cannot easily back away from their public commitments. They will escalate. So there you go. Just be aware. Sour Patch Lids said, Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. So it's, yeah. Quoting a Bible verse, of course, is not enough to get you suspended, but Michael included the Trans Day of Vengeance flyer, which Twitter is suppressing in an attempt to prevent actual trans violence. DC Drano said now that Nashville PD confirmed the terrorist considered targeting other schools, but they thought the other schools had too much security. Who could ever deny more armed guards, police in schools and armed teachers? Armed good guys protect our banks and sporting games. Time to protect the kids. When you have gun-free zones, you tend to have more shootings in those areas. Well, look, it hasn't stopped it in Australia. We are not allowed to have firearms unless you register. You've got to pass all these. It's like nearly a 6 month to a year thing to get a firearm, okay? But yet people still have them illegally all over Sydney. There's shootings everywhere. So it doesn't stop anything. It only stops the honest people from having them, the people who could actually probably stop something from happening. It just gives criminals and police the access to the weapons. That's what it does. So I don't know. I think Australia's about to find out why they need their arms back. Tony Kinnett said, breaking Spotsylvania County Public School boosts 14 sexually explicit books from its school libraries. Many of these contain graphic descriptions of Masturbation, incest, rape, and pedos. Oh, my God. In schools. This is what they're teaching the children. Chuck Costello said, just in, mind-blowing video emerges out of France showing riot police charging firefighters during protests. Are we witnessing the beginning of a revolution? So this is, I think they've imported police, because we did see a lot of police walking with the, and that's a very small amount of police. Is that it? Is that the police? Yep. There you go. They're getting pushed way back and trodden on and walked over, and yeah, don't stuff with the fireys, mate. Seriously. Sick of the BS. Follow Mike A. Sparaza. He's cutting right through it. Twitter 2.0 has so much talent. Not from what I've heard. Twitter seems to be having more problems because I believe Twitter was built with censorship inbuilt into it, layers and layers and layers of censorship. So when they get through one, there's more underneath that. CFC Terry said they're not the police, they're the UN Army. It's exactly what I think. They're not the police, they're a UN Army. The Babylon Bee said FBI vows to get to the bottom of what Christians did to provoke the attack. Babylon Bee is a satire website, okay? So it's meant to be a joke, okay? To get to the bottom of what Christians did to provoke the attack. Because that's what the FBI would do. They wouldn't investigate the person who attacked or all the others, transformers. They'll investigate the Christian people instead. And they'll go after people who confront school boards like parents, because they don't want stuff taught in schools about transformers to their children. Okay, woke or distance said one. The woke don't just tolerate violent rhetoric of extremists on their side. They intentionally elevate and encourage it as a political strategy. They use the radical fringe to move the Overton window, pick one, by elevating extremists so they look tame by comparison. This says usual radical fringe to shift the Overton window. There are two ways to do this, the long, hard way and the short, easy way. The long, hard way is to continue making your actual case persistently and persuasively until your position becomes more politically mainstream, whether it be due to the strength of your rhetoric or long-term shift in societal values. By contrast, the short, easy way is to amplify and echo the voices of those who take a position a few notches more radical than what you really want. This is like the big ask. Okay, so you ask for more than what you really want and then you back off a little. But they're using extremists to do so. The Overton window is the window or a range of acceptable ideas in societies. These are the ideas people are willing to give serious consideration to. As you can see in the diagram, move too far left or right and you end up outside the Overton window. What the woke do is you end up right outside of it. There's popular policy, then sensible, then acceptable, then radical, then unthinkable. The woke encourage the most extreme, violent, hate-filled views from the extreme left and then elevate them and broadcast them to the world. Why? Because by elevating extreme leftist voices, woke people hope to make themselves look reasonable by comparison. This is why the woke will always condemn the right for their extremism, but never condemn the rhetoric of the extreme leftist bomb throwers and shock troops. This isn't random hypocrisy. It's a well-thought-out, carefully planned, completely intentional political strategy. If you wonder why the woke never condemn the rhetoric of those who say opposing gender surgery for minors is genocide, or anyone who votes Republican is a fascist, this is why. The woke cynically elevate their extreme fringe to make themselves look more reasonable. The woke don't care about violent rhetoric or rhetoric that raises the stakes, stirs the pot, or increases the temperature. They're concerned when that rhetoric comes from the right. Why? Because they want to do the opposite. Move on the right as they do on themselves. They want to use the fringe extreme left as the edge of the left to make themselves look more reasonable, but they want to silence the extreme fringe on the right so that the regular right becomes the edge and thus looks more out of touch. In other words, their concern about rhetoric is a cynical and opportunistic strategy they are employing in order to manipulate the terms of acceptable mainstream debate. I'm not saying leftist fringe right-wing or violent right-wing people as counter to the woke strategy. That's a bad idea. What I am saying is that we need to be aware of this strategy and figure out ways of making them pay for employing it. How do you do that? Christopher Rufo said, breaking Missouri legislators have introduced a bill to abolish the DEI bureaucracy, so the diversity, equity and inclusion in all state institutions, including the public university system. Yay! We will not stop until we have defeated the ideology of the left-wing radicalism, racialism, and make colourblind equality the law of the land. Okay, good stuff. So they're going to... hang on. Under the proposed restrictions, state spending would be banned from going to initiatives that promote collective guilt, the concept that disparities are necessarily tied to oppression, and intersectional or divisive identity activism. Good stuff. John Pilger said, President Obama is in Australia. The man who bombed 7 countries, launched an invasion of Africa, approved a coup in Ukraine, planted missiles in Europe, and launched a campaign of war with China, will be enriched by $1 million and bathed in a tsunami of Aussie sycophancy. Yeah. Get him out. Seriously? Blake said, for fuck's sake, she only knows a few words, doesn't she? If you don't agree with me, then you're a racist. This is a woman who was dragged away for who crawled away after attacking the Women's Rights March. Clown Down Under said Olivia Thorpe accused Holly Hughes of racism in the workplace. Let's have a listen to this idiot.
Acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the lands. Is that racism? Is that racism? Can I just call out racism in this chamber right now, please? Chair, President, call it out.
Point of order.
An accusation made in this chamber, and I would like Senator Thorpe to withdraw.
Senator Hughes, you have a point of order?
Yes, Senator. Well, I'd just like to point out that Senator Thorpe has just made a comment about me that I think she should withdraw in its inference. Well, in fact, it's direct calling.
Senator Thorpe?
What? What are you asking me to do? President, what are you asking me to do?
Senator Thorpe, I've just had
you
a point of order. You want me to finish reading it? That you actually made, I did hear what Senator Hughes said, and
you don't see that as racist?
Well, that is not my call to make. However, are you making a point of order?
I'm making a point of order that I'm in my workplace and I don't need racists being racist to me.
She only asked if she could just
acknowledge the traditional
change what she just said. Oh my God, because she had to go at the other lady. That's ridiculous. Yeah, just call it all racist, racist, racist. That Brian said, my father was a drunk. He whipped me with his belt on a regular basis. When he was good and plastered, he'd use the buckle end. If that were not bad enough, he enjoyed telling me I would never amount to anything on a daily basis. I'm getting somewhere. I don't say this to gain your pity. I'm fine by God's grace. My heart is full. I have forgiven him. I say this because in spite of the torture I experienced at the hand of my father, I didn't kill anyone. Murdering children because your parents didn't agree with your sexual deviancy is not an excuse to kill. To even suggest such a thing perpetuates this evil. New York Post said shooter Audrey Hale's parents couldn't accept their daughter's trans identity. For God's sake. The world's gone insane. And we're witnessing it. Oh, no, not more of it. Ian Miles Chong said this is what they want to do to women. It was never about rights. This person said kill the TERFs. Lovely. Eris Bike Thief Stan said after the revolution all TERFs become public. Cum dumpsters for trans women. You got to be kidding me. And this idiot who, I don't even know, what's Chinese, Asian, I don't know. If TERFs want to keep making trans women's lives hell, I propose that this person proposes trans women are allowed to violate them as they please. Excuse me? With the prick the whiny lesbians are so obsessed with. No. God. That is just, that's, as an ideology, transgenderism is not compatible with civilization. Not if they're calling for that, it's not. They're calling for attacking women, sexually attacking women. Dinesh D'Souza said NBC decides that the perpetrators are the real victims. Transgender domestic terrorists raise the prospect the trans community as a whole will suffer stigma. Let's all feel sorry for trans after this horrible incident they now have to live through. Okay. And I've already read this one. They're fearing for their lives. Well, don't go shooting people, you idiots, and stop coming after the children, and stop telling everyone what language they should use, and stop pushing it. Easy. NZ Maga Mike said almost had him this time. Well, we finally got Donald Trump Day again. It does feel like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? They've been doing this for the last 3 years. Malcolm Roberts said from a tweet, more than 3 years. From a tweet, look at the diversity, compare the pair. One Nation Australia is more diverse than the Greens, who look more like a clan meeting. Hope all the Greens wore sunscreen on election day. These are the Greens, okay? Wow, look at One Nation. Who would have thought? I think the Greens are the white supremacists. Are they the ones that were at the Women's March yelling out Nazis and all, and doing the whole, I don't know. James Lindsay said that manifesto is damning and they know it. Newsweek said Audrey Hale manifesto release raises major concerns. Of course it does. They don't want to show you what they're up to. From LGBTQ plus groups. Honestly, I think the LGB should remove themselves from the T plus groups. Calls for police to release the manifesto the authorities say was written ahead of Monday's Nashville shooting has prompted concern among LGBTQ plus groups who caution against the publication. Release it. Let us see. No, because there's something in there that they don't want you to see. While many details remain to be unveiled about the massacre, this week police have identified the shooter as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, armed with 2 assault-style weapons, a rifle and a pistol, as well as a handgun, fatally shot 3 children. We know that. Speaking at a press conference hours afterwards, Metropolitan Nashville Police Chief John Drake, who said the shooter identified as trans, confirmed that officials were in possession of a manifesto, a map detailing how the incident would take place, and writings that pertain to this date, the actual incident. Release it. That's the only way we're going to know. Release it. Let the cards fall where they may. If it happens to be bad for the LGBTQ plus community, they're going to have to accept that and deal with it. We have to, so they have to. They're not above dealing with things. They've got to deal with life. Everybody has to. It doesn't matter who you are. Dinesh D'Souza said if white supremacy is to blame for hate crimes committed in its name, shouldn't transgenderism be blamed for hate crimes committed in its name? Is this why LGBTQ activists seek to suppress the public release of the manifesto of the Nashville murderer? Okay, and Liz Churchill said there's Democrat states, and I'd get out of those ones, that are passing laws that can apprehend your children as young as 7 if the parents don't want their child sterilised. The state will claim the child can make the decision for themselves. Are you paying attention to these batshit crazy Satanists? I would get out of, seriously, and I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. All of Australia's like a Democrat, like the Democrat-run states at the moment. God help us. I could run to Tasmania. They're the only Liberal state left. I think are they Liberal or One Nation? I don't know. God help us. I don't think it's going to last long, though, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm paying attention to these batshit crazy Satanists. Yes, I am. Steve Mudflap McGrew said, well, isn't that a coincidence? Real scary, said meet Ashby Beasley. She was a Highland Park, Illinois shooting survivor and happened to be at the Nashville one as well. Have we got a David Hogg 2.0? This all seems orchestrated. She was at another shooting. It's funny because all these people who they interview happen to be at other places where there was a shooting as well. Funny how they keep popping up like this, isn't it? Something going on here that's not right. Craig Kelly said, with a presumption of innocence under constant attack by biased media, lefty nut jobs and woke crazies, it's pleasing to see that the intelligent and fair voters of Kiama are standing by the presumption of innocence. Enough of the unhinged lynch mob mentality. Let the judicial process run their course and stop trial by media that's destroying lives in our criminal justice system. Kiama MP Gareth Ward on verge of retaining seat according to election analyst. He's moved ahead of his Labor opponent as vote counting continues in the South Coast electorate, with the development occurring as he faced court. Because they're trying to demonise the media, the lefty nut jobs, and woke crazies are trying to demonise anyone on the right or even slightly right of them, so that they get more of their woke people in. So they've accused this person of doing something, obviously. Ian Miles Chong said, "Thank you, I hate it." And Than Duxulu said, "Bro, what?" Misgendering the Nashville shooter dishonours the memory of her victims. How? How does misgendering the Nashville shooter dishonour the memory of the victims? How? Logically, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you have a logical bone in your body, that will not make sense. Chicago Ray said, "We never had this level of animosity in this country before Obama became president. It's very sad that our first African-American president will be judged in history as the most inept, corrupt, wasteful, subversive, destructive, and divisive president ever. A man twice elected because of the colour of his skin rather than the content of his character." He also fooled very many people. Gays Against Groomers said, "Gender dysphoria is a mental disorder that needs to be treated, not affirmed. No medical professional would affirm an anorexic teen with liposuction. This is no different. We must hold doctors and therapists accountable for their grave abuse and malpractice. Nuremberg 2.0. I agree. Bring back Nuremberg trials and put these doctors who do this right at the front, as well as the doctors who are pushing this thing. Yeah, them too. Aussie Bot said, "Australia is a woke joke, the biggest prison on earth ran by narcissistic dictators." 9 News Perth. Mark McGowan has signalled a return to tough border laws used during the pandemic, even though there isn't one now. The WA Premier is allowing police to stop and search anyone entering the state. You'd be lucky if you're allowed out of the state. Matt Walsh said LGBTQ groups are now actively trying to prevent the release of the yeah, we know that. They don't want anyone to know how their rhetoric is radicalising people. That's why it has to be released. Now. Yeah, exactly. Nashville police said it won't make the manifesto public during an open investigation. I wonder would ringing the Nashville police change their mind? If all the public contact them and say, hey, we want to know. While it's not public, Nashville Police Chief John Drake on Tuesday gave reporters their first glimpse into the manifesto to the suspect, 28-year-old Audrey Hale, had left behind before the shooting. What did they do? He did not specifically target one student, and motive for the shooting is unknown. Well, what's the manifesto about? I thought the manifesto was part of it. Okay, according to Drake, Hale outlined the manifesto plans to attack multiple locations in the Covenant School, with detailed maps of those locations as well as action plans describing how the killings would be carried out. How did they do that so quickly when they actually were going for another school but it had higher security? I don't know. I don't know. But Drake ruled out rumours that Hale, who sent vague messages to friend hinting about doing something bad the morning of the shooting, has specifically targeted any single person in the shooting rampage. The victims, 3 children, 3 adults, staff members, included the school's head and 9-year-old daughter of a minister at a Presbyterian church that operates the school. We feel that the students that were targeted were randomly targeted. Well, let's look, bring it out. Come on. Let's see this manifesto that they say they have. Why hide it unless there's something to hide? He said the specifics of the manifesto were still under investigation. Of course. There's quite a bit of writing to it, Drake told the reporters. I've not read the whole entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI, oh, okay, it's never coming out. The FBI are working on it. It's never coming out. Yeah, if I was anyone, I'd be contacting the Nashville police via email for additional comments and why are they hiding this? Like, why not release it? And the killings, which conservatives have speculated were specifically targeted at a Christian institution, came after Tennessee's legislator had been working on legislation aimed at the transgender community, as well as increasing residents' ability to purchase firearms. And the only legislation aimed at the transgender community was not to teach children under 18 and no surgery or hormones for kids under 18. That's it. This is what they're fighting for. They're fighting to be pedos. That's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like that. Seriously. And we know they already, oh, come on, man. Okay, at least no, did it? Oh, it went back to the beginning. Dear me. Oh, dear, guys, I'm just having one of those days. Oh, my goodness. Okay. What's this? Oh, no, it's still further down. Oh, my God, how far did I get? Wow, quite a bit, actually, quite a way. I should leave it at that, actually, because I've got to do a video on hookup culture. I want to do a video on that. Give them bread and circuses and they'll never revolt. Look at this. That's what sports are about. Sorry to say that, but they are. Kate said, funny watching a taxpayer-funded state premier doing private deals behind the Prime Minister's back. Easy to see who's boss. Is that Daniel Andrews by any chance? Mimi said tolls increasing in Sydney once again. There is no equity case for road tolls. As a resident, you pay your taxes to get the roads built and shouldn't be forced to pay twice, but we do at every tax that we have here. Currently, a full-time worker driving a car pays up to $10,000, while a truck driver up to $20,000 per year. What's going to happen when the trucks stop? That's a lot. And they keep doing this with businesses like electricity. They put more taxes and things on it. Hello, Possum said Barack Obama is in his entourage of about 50 blocks of the city. Piss off. I'll talk tonight for 45 minutes. Oh, sorry, he will talk tonight for 45 minutes, and the wankers are paying thousands of dollars to listen to him. Suckers. Okay, Rage Against the Vaccine said Rep. James Comer, the mask guidance was not scientifically sound. He's questioning. Who's he questioning?
That document that I've referred to recommended schools require the universal masking with children and 6 feet of physical distancing. Were those necessary to keep schools open?
So we had evidence prior to the pandemic that masks were largely ineffective at preventing community transmission of influenza and other upper respiratory viruses, and we did not obtain any new high quality evidence during the COVID-19 pandemic that masks are effective mitigation strategy in schools or outside of schools. We have a number of confounded observational studies, many of which were actually published by the CDC that have serious flaws in them that I think unfortunately led people to believe that masking children was going to be effective and actually necessary to keep children in schools. But the highest quality data that we have, for example, from a Cochrane review of randomized studies, has not found evidence of masks.
So that wasn't scientifically sound.
Effective.
The mask guidance
correct.
was not
it wasn't science-based, and the 6 feet of distancing was arbitrary. That was based on basically just looking at how far certain size droplets spread. It wasn't based on actual transmission of disease, and we knew very on that.
Why were they doing it then? Interesting. I think they wanted masks to continue because, I don't know if you notice how Antifa and that use a lot of masks. Maybe. I don't know. Rage Against the Vaccine, share this. Normie friend. Okay, so then how did the government convince people to reject their own freedom? Me. Well, first of all, through PSYOPs, all things are possible, so just jot that one down. And the biggest concern from the woke crowd is the Nashville shooting was misgendered by police and the media. Do we really want to listen to this one? Okay, let's make this the last one because I don't really want to listen to any more of this shit.
Aiden Hale, that's the name of the Nashville shooter. This video is about to be very uncomfortable for a lot of us. It's very uncomfortable for me to talk about, but we need to talk about it. Aiden did a very horrendous thing. Period, point blank. We need pew-pew reform in our country. But the way that the media and the police are misgendering and dead naming Aiden is quite concerning. It's also concerning that I had to go to the Telegraph from UK to actually get Aiden's chosen name. It's upsetting that constantly it is she, her pronouns. That is incredibly frustrating because even though they did this horrible thing does not mean that we get to
I can't do it. I'm losing brain cells. I can't. Just listening to that, I'm losing brain cells. I can't do it anymore. Okay. So let's just go over. I'm just going to remove this from the screen. Okay, because I can't deal with it anymore. And I'll bring this back over here to read the comments. Okay, I'm having problems this morning. I don't know what's going on. Deb said that on the news, the South Australia's already put the Aboriginal voice into South Australian government with your permission. Wow. Alex, yeah, glad YouTube saw sense and overturned the strike. Delia said, I just watched that post by James O'Keefe. Alex said, my YouTube keeps freezing. Goodness me. Everyone's saying hello. Faith, how you going? Deb, Alex, Dealey. Who else have we got? Did I say hello to everyone? Menacing Muskrat. Carl, how you going? Starchild, how you going? Deb, Ann, Eyes, how you going? Missy T, how you going? Okay, Simone, how you going? Who else have we got? SNM, how you going? Can't hear. Yeah, I had, sorry about that. Everything, Murphy's Law, everything that can go wrong this morning has gone wrong. Today and yesterday, actually. Make that 2 days. No, you're supposed to read their lips. Oh, no. Oh, everyone's telling me no sound. David said, never heard a word she said. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Yeah, and I had to mute because Carl rang me to tell me that he couldn't hear anything. So I'm having a bad day. Oh, no. And I'm also, as I was saying in yesterday's video, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times, there is a little house on land, not far, So close enough that I can still go to my daughter's and babysit. Cheaper than where I am. Only has 2 bedrooms, so I've got to have a look at it. I did ring them yesterday after the live stream because I thought they might have rang me, but they didn't. They're currently fixing it up. So they're just collecting names at the moment to have a look at this place. I pray it's a good place, and I pray that it's enough, and I pray that I get it. But it's in a beautiful place, so we'll see how that goes. Hey, MM, how you going? Okay. Yep, Dealey can't hear either. Deb said she could hear birds. Oh, no. I am so sorry, guys. Hey, Fred, how you going? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, I had started out on Streamlabs this morning, and by the time I went to go live, it said update all your drivers, and I'm like, oh, that's going to shut the whole computer down and everything. So I had to move everything over to StreamYard instead. Okay. I said what I've been hearing, false. Yep, exactly. Alex said I just had to close down loads of stuff as my chat kept freezing. I'm going to have to shut my computer down and restart it after this, after updating drivers and things. Dealey said banks and courts have armed guards, but not our schools. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Yeah. Dealey said just another try to get. Yeah, it won't work. Believe me, it won't work. Alex said they have mental issues, all right. Simone said, oh, you're a great team. Deb said FBI sent this crazy woman. Well, they didn't stop her, right? I think they would have had a chance to stop previous to this, but they don't. It's the same with all the other ones. They were known by the FBI, all the other ones that go around killing people, the school ones. They were all known by the FBI or police or something, and they're always let go to do this stuff. Alex said, I think strange things have been happening for a while now. Yep, definitely. Yeah, Deb said, yeah, gun grab. Luna said, okay, I'm back after being lost in the live change because of it's stuffed up. Yep. I'm so sorry. MJ, late again. Found yous. Dealey said, wasn't that lady just in a car crash? Oh, yeah, the Corinne Jean-Pierre. Definitely. Captain Whippersnapper said Congress shall make no laws. Hey, Captain Whippersnapper, how you going? Alex said people have a right to protect themselves and their property. Never bow to these monsters to want to confine us. I also posted on my community tab a video from the Academy of Ideas about small governments and not going global, and it's quite a good watch if anyone is interested. And Joe said, all is well, Cap. Deb said, does she mean the president is getting more ice cream? Do you mean the president, Deb? Deb said, you can't protect your here in South Australia. Yeah, yourself, yep. You're not allowed to here in Sydney. You're not allowed to protect yourself. If someone invades your home, you've either got to try and escape or let them do what they're going to do. Bullshit. As I said before, everything will be coming out. Frying pans, anything I can find. Anything. MJ said Biden is obsessed with choc chip ice cream like having a convo with a 3-year-old. Hey, Wheezy, how you going? Hope everyone's groovy and such. Glad you got your strike sorted, Hev. Me too, because that was quite... that really put me off yesterday. Everyone's saying hello to Wheezy. Missy T said, Hev strikes back. Oh, dear. And Wheezy said, indeed. And everyone's saying hello back and forward. Missy T said, anyone's seen that footage of Bitty Biden being led around? Lol. Oh, I think I had something. I've got so many bookmarks that I can't even read them all. in one sitting. So it's insane how much news is coming out right now. Menacing Muskrat said, thumbs it up, folks. Thank you. Alex said, good chat the other night. Sorry if I went a bit crazy wheezy. No, you were fine. MJ said, funny how all the actual threats of Olin C go through, no censor there. Of violence, yeah. Sorry, yep. And said, Katie Hobbs, ha. Macron is next, then Trudeau. Sorry, yep, Trudeau. Alex said, I get really nervous and end up babbling. No, you were good, Alex. That's all right. Weezy said he was the one that went off the rails. Anne said, g'day all, I hope. How you going, Anne? Dealey said, they're hoping we forget. And again, there's no volume. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I had the volume the second time. I actually had the volume ticked, so I don't know what happened. I could hear it, but apparently you couldn't. It was Janet Yellen saying she believed in climate change and that we've got to do this because climate change. And someone said to her, no, and she goes, yes, yes, yes. And it was like absolutely ridiculous. Yet Weezy says, pump up the volume, Hev. I would if I could have. I don't know what happened there. Susie said, big hugs to all. I think maybe YouTube are going to go soon. Sussanita. Anne said, we didn't need to hear that, biatch. Oh, dear. Wheezy's putting music up. Missy T's putting music up. No sound again on. Oh, my God. It's either YouTube or Twitter, I don't know, or the streaming software. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm really sorry. Wheezy said, Hev is sound censoring us. And Missy T said, she hears the birds again. And Anne said, no sound. Anne said, whoops. Wheezy said, that's it, go on. MJ said, anyone speak Italian? Anne said, I can't hear him perfectly since I don't understand him. Wheezy said, I can understand a little bit of it. Dealey said, no lab meat for me. Was there sound on that one? So there was sound on that one where I couldn't hear the sound very well. But there was no sound on the other one where I could hear the sound really well. Yeah, I think there's something going on here. MJ said, looks like damn tumour. No. Dealey said, no lab meat for me. Alex said, YouTube likes messing with the truth. Yeah, the lab meat. Ugh. Gag, 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 said MJ. Missy T said, I thought that. Alex said, they keep filth up and take down the people trying to expose it. Well, that's exactly what they do. Weezy said, would you rather eat lab meat or rat skewers? Okay, well, I'd probably rather, okay, if I had to choose one of them, rat skewers rather than lab meat. That's how bad I think it is. But I wouldn't want to, I'd rather eat none of them, actually. Yeah, everyone said rat, neither. Bug kebabs, bacon. Weezy said, I'll take diced rat and peppers, please. Yeah, if it came to a choice, but if you had to choose between the two, I'd rather eat rat than lab meat. That's how bad I think that lab meat is. Dealey said, neither. I'll eat grass first. Yep. Exactly. Menacing Muskrat said, Alex, I'm okay. Need some prayers. Thank you all. I'm tired. Been fighting a flu bug. Oh, prayers for Menacing Muskrat. MJ said, give me ranch or a dip sauce that will go down, lol. And said, they're sick, all right. Alex is laughing. MJ. Weezy said, MJ, that's the globalist spirit. At any time, I'm going to get a delivery of wood. Like wood for burning, okay? Not the other type. So I'm just letting you know in case I quickly just go. Okay, I might set the intermission up just in case. Hang on, guys. It's going to play. Hang on. I might put that as my outro today, actually. It's been a while since we heard the intermission. I lost it for a while. I lost the video for a while. I moved it and lost it. Dealey said, oh, Muskrat, much love and prayers to you. Definitely. Missy T said, I can't take no more. MJ said, he is 100% death cult. Alex said, sending you love and prayers, Muskrat. Yep, everyone's praying for Muskrat. LGBTQIAWTF, exactly. Prayers menacing. Alex said, you'll eat crickets and be happy. No, I think I'd like to see them eat crickets. Can we do it to them? Menacing Muskrat said, I'm usually on a really positive woman, but boy, have I been hit hard over the last couple of months. I'll be back and look out. Yep. Anne said, do they stay crunchy in the bag? I hope they don't get sort of soft and chewy. Ooh. Missy T's giving love hearts, and D-Lee said, we're here for you, Muskrat, and Missy T said, sick shits. Yeah, exactly. Alex said, such an upside-down world. They didn't shoot them because they had more armed guards, yet they want to take away those armed guards. Yeah, great idea. MJ said, pretty freaking graphic, those books. It's bad. Yes, I've heard. I can't even read them on YouTube or I'd get kicked off. But they're teaching that to kids in schools? Are you serious? I said, Hev 2029 or 2030, when it gets better after the judgments, the Lords will put the earth back together as Christ will reign for 1,000 years from Jerusalem. Happy days, that's the only time it'll be good. Anne said, probably why they kept adding more salt and spice to chips until they look radioactive, so they could use it on the bug chips you'd hardly notice. Everyone's saying hello again. Alex said, sometimes we just need time to recoup and work on inner love and care for ourselves. You take all the time you need, Muskie, and know that we're always here for you when you need us. Love you. MJ said, Anne, you're right. I picture IBS as a side effect with those chips and such. Oh, definitely. You don't want to get that, I'm telling you. Alex, I said, Alex, I honestly thought you weren't speaking to me. No, she's right. Out to lunch, said, I'm here, but out in the world for a minute. I'm going to wrap this up soon anyway, guys. And I'll be back on Saturday or Friday night, depending on where we are. Because tomorrow, which is Friday here in Australia, I have to babysit again. So look after my little grandkiddies and cook and clean. And yeah, it's like having a job. It's good, though, because I'm helping my daughter. So I love helping my family. I'll do that all day long. And I wish they could all move out to the country with me so we could all be together so I can help easier. Missy T said, have you heard about Schofield's brother? No. Everyone's saying hello, out to lunch, and oh, God love you, Luna. And I think, thank you, Deb, was that a late fee for yesterday before we started? Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. They're not coming up on the screen because I got the wrong, what do you call it? Program opened. StreamYard doesn't do all the little bits on the screen. That's the other one that I couldn't get into this morning. So God love you, Luna. Menacing Muskrat said, hello, out to lunch, eyes to see. Oh, shush. I need to turn my phone back on silent again. That's terrible. Xenotron, how you going? And Dan Markle Senior, how you going? I said, Hev effing and jeffing, baha, not Heather. Deb said, what? Oh, dear. Oh, shoot, that just jumped bigly. Oh, no, it didn't. It just flashed then. That's weird. Huh. Xenotron said, anyone want to know what the outcome of the raid yesterday was? Yes, please. Xenotron, what happened? Menacing Muskrat said, hello, David, everyone. Everyone's saying hello. David said, heaven sent, hey, and your lovely chat crew, I'm out, but just had to show support and have a great show. Oh, God love you, David. Thank you. Okay, now blurred. What is going on? I think YouTube are playing with me. MJ said, I cannot even understand. Alex said, no, I'm not. No, I'm speaking to your eyes. Xenotron said, hey, eyes, have you ever read the book Jasher? The Book of Creation and the Book of Adam and Eve 1 and 2? David said, don't forget to hit the like button, good people. Thank you, guys. Alex said, I'm really behind as my chat froze earlier. I need to catch up. MJ said, yeah, it feels like Groundhog Day for a long time. And Deb's given 9:22 a.m. Adelaide with a bit of moistness. I'd say that was over an hour ago. I'm an hour behind in the chat. Whoa. Yep, feels like Groundhog Day. The P Squad says Missy T. Gen X, how you going? Blessings and love to everyone here. Have great to see you. You too, Gen X. Who else have we got? D-Lee said homeschool if you can. Menacing Muskrats put a link there. Ken Peters' prophecy. Deb said, sorry, sweetie, eyes to see. I thought you were just replying to my hi I called earlier. I said the amount of monsters and government across the whole planet is unbelievable and wickedness, but as Almighty God said, vengeance is mine. That's what I think. Leave it up to it's coming. Menacing Muskrat said there's nothing new under the sun. Yep, as in the days of Noah, so it shall be again. Xenotron said, Alex, I do have an issue with the Matt Walsh controversy. I think you should have made the doco on the question, what is the tranny, might have been more appropriate. I said, sorry, Deb, never seen it. D-Lee said, eyes, but when I can't take much more. Alex said, I heard about Schofield's brother yesterday, same as him with that 15-year-old boy. Then Scoff came out as gay and kept his MSM spot on TV. He knew and kept it quiet. Wow. Yeah, Alex says so many pedos our government's full of it. That's what the world runs on, blackmail of that kind, mainly. Of other kinds too, but mainly that. Missy T said he's off work at the moment, Alex, because his brother's trial. Menacing Muskrat said, man shall not lay with a man. Missy T said he told Philip he'd keep it quiet. MJ said, is that LGBT? Should book out, say CS cessation. Probably spelt wrong. Irish, quick exit, get rid of the crazy. I said, he's a pedo, Alex. They're sick in the head, cannot wait for God the Father to come back. Missy T said, PS next. It's trending on Twitter. Xenotron said, a man shall not dress as a woman. It's an abomination in God's world. Yep, Deuteronomy. Alex said, catching up, lol. Deb said, news is in saying, some saying misgendering. The child told in therapy. The brother will be taken by God the Most High at the appointed time. They'll be sorry and tortured in the gates of hell. Out to lunch said, so we're allowed to misgender if you shoot someone. Yeah, who cares about gender if people are going around shooting each other? My God. Or shooting people, sorry. Xenotron Missy, I can't even talk now. Xenotron said, Missy, child in therapy got to ask what's going on even before they molest their minds. Missy T said, PS will be knighted probably. I'm going to have to jump through this, I think. Xenotron said, we've been so betrayed on every level. Definitely. And Missy T said, and Ruth and hubby, I don't know who you guys are talking about, but sounds interesting. He worked on This Morning and Loose Women. And someone called Big Boobs is complicit. Oh, dear. T. Charlie was best mates with Savile and Andrew best mates with Epstein, so obviously yet no one sees. PS is a client. Ooh. Xenotron said, FBI working on it? Yeah, working on writing and editing, correcting their narrative about the event. Yeah. Or they're trying to type up the manifesto. Yeah, I believe the FBI is sending them. Missy T said has a separate property. MJ said give money to change sex, but not kids' mental health. Trans kids are obviously higher violence. Now, if any videos do come out, they'll blame it on deep fake. Don't show it, Hev, but seriously, they've conveniently left it a while to release the black book long enough to get tech sorted. Xenotron said it's the drugs they give them. It's altering their mind and lowering their capacity. Well, okay, they're given gender drugs, right? But are some of these people also on like antipsychotics and antidepressants and things like that? Because I wonder how those things work together. They can react. Links to the government. Deb said, call a spade, aka pedo. MJ said, well, have you make our day, no worries. Missy T said, Google the trans. Found dead. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me move this. Oh, was that in the UK a few weeks ago? Because they're using that to I don't know. They're using it to try and say that people are picking on trans, but I don't know. I don't know. I think if you are a trans person, don't lie to males about being a female, because that's not going to work well for you when they find out. Imagine a guy thinking that he's with a female and he's making out and everything, right? And then he finds out that girl has a P. I know that some people will fight that, like they'll go hard. Okay, it has jumped now. Okay. MJ said, who's preggers? Gavin, how you going? Anyone else I've missed? How you going? No, she's still stuck in hospital. Your mum? Sounds dodgy, yes, said Missy T. She's been in there for a while. Alex said, praying you get it, Hev. Prayers for Gavin and his mum. Nothing wrong with her except the government. Alex said, sorry to hear that, Gavin. Did you manage to find any free legal advice? Hey, True Let's Talk. How you going? Good to see you. I think I've missed some because the chat just jumped hugely because I was like an hour behind. And when I scroll down, it just jumps. Gavin said, waiting to find out on the 17th of April. Deb said, we are determined to all be together and share the crazy news and be a great community together through this madness. Definitely, Deb. I agree. Alex said, I'll check that out. We need to bring back down to the local level. Yeah, that the link that I shared from Academy of Ideas. As always, take everything with a grain of salt, but I think that is a good idea. It's more running your area with small government and people of like minds. Xenotron said, Heaven Sent Academy of Ideas, a pretty good channel, makes you think about it. Does. It really makes you think about stuff. Alex said, I'll be protecting my home. I will use anything. If someone breaks into my home, I don't care what it is. I'd throw the mobile phone at them. I would throw these scissors at them. Like that. I've got plenty of knives in the kitchen drawer. I've got frying pans, like really, cast iron frying pans. That'll work. I've got, what else have I got? A poker from the fireplace that I could hit someone with if they broke into my house. I've got even like a candle in a glass jar. I mean, I would throw anything and everything at someone breaking into my house. I don't care. And if they happen to get taken out by me, well, here, go on. Arrest me, I don't care. Susie said, I'm so out of sync today, giving up catching up with you all. I'm currently stuffing my face with chicken pot pie and listening happily to Hev. Good on you, Susie. Stabbings in Canada's gone up. Really? No, MJ, we're not allowed tasers in Australia either. So just watch, because all my furniture, everything I own will be outside because I'll be throwing it at whoever's breaking in, and probably half of it's going to end up outside. I mean, you can use lamps, anything to throw at people. Oh dear. Plus, what else have I got? Hang on. Oh yeah, hang on. Just let me. I have this torch, right? Mini baseball bat torch. Oh, that'll do too. Anyone wants to break into my home, they're going to cop it, I'm telling you. They don't even want to try. And I sleep very lightly too, so I'll hear if anyone does. MJ said, Xenotron said, MJ, only the cops, yep. Alex said, take me a few weeks to adjust. Australia goes back next Sunday. Yes, we're going back an hour. So I've got them. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I've put things in the wrong spot now. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to throw me out. I feel like jet lag when they change the times. When they keep changing the times, I feel like I've got jet lag. My hair's a mess. Look, let's just do that. And so, how you going, guys? Oh, Jen X said, the YouTubers blocking truth by buffering and such. They're activating MK people for their theatre. Missy said, the screen went blurry. Missy T said, could be the rum. Menacing Muskrat said, those cats just sleep. Yeah, during the day they do. God love them. As you can see, where is it? Right there. But they're on that side of me, so. Alex said, if government had their way, we wouldn't be able to have anything, MJ. You can get licenses here in UK for arms, but need to go through hoops for it. That's the same with here in Australia. It can take like 6 months to a year, and then you've got to register, and then that register has been open to the public at certain points. Accidentally, of course. But it was funny because the gun owners, I know one who was broken into, and, you know, all they stole was the gun safe. D-Lee said, yeah, YouTube is messing with us. Okay, I might wrap this up, make it go quicker. I don't know who they are. Susie said, I don't know, guys. There's something in the air. Everything is so much work today, and I have a really shitty sleep. Everyone around me isn't even asleep. They're unconscious. Missy T said, free range rat. MJ said, it's awful. You should see my keychain. My dad in Florida, first day, bought me a purple taser and spray. Oh, I'd love that. Apparently you can make your own. I'm not going to do that. Pepper spray. I don't know. Capsicum spray. I don't know. Apparently you can, though. My hair's peeing me off. It's just that length at the moment where it's all weird. A bit like me, really. David said, Monty Python had some good rat recipes. It's in brand new Papa book. Big red book, which is blue. Oh, my God. MJ said, wood delivery, lots of lumber. Yeah, it's to burn in the fireplace. We buy wood to burn. I might as well just stick the money in the fireplace and light that on fire. It won't last as long, though. Oh, my God. Because years ago, the greenies here in Australia stopped people from being able to go into the bush and collect all the fallen and dead trees, okay, so that they'd have more bushfire fuel when they needed it, because that's what the greenies do. They start things, you know, to get their agenda pushed. Alex said, oh, I say Hev. Alex said, I love that intermission with the kangaroos and koalas. Yep. Alex said, sickening pedos trying to take over. D-Lee said, the parents can't even read those books at school board meetings. Yes, they are. I've got to get my hair out of my eyes, at least on top of the glasses, not underneath them. Yeah, they can't because they're too rude. But yet kids are allowed access to these books. Susie said Audrey Hale was able to get those guns because she was born in Manchuria. I said the end of BBC HQ, ITV HQ, Channel 4 HQ, and Channel 5 HQ once Uncle Vlad the dictator blows you a kiss. And it's coming, cannot be stopped. MJ said, I want to know how much those pew-pews cost. Well, 2 of them were $700 each. Where'd they get the money? Alex said, these have been extra lives, but as needed, the shit show is ramping up. Yes. Dave said, God bless the family. Don't let the bastards bust up your nuclear families, folks. Yes, exactly. Luna said, got to run, got to go pick up one of the little ones. He split his head open. Oh, Luna. Oh, hope he's all right. Yeah, definitely go. Alex said, if you'd like to bypass YouTube and donate directly, Streamlabs tip. I don't even know if that works while I'm not live on Streamlabs. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, Luna, bye. Mummy's work is never done. Yes. I know how that feels. My daughter was dancing in the lounge room one day, and the next thing you know, she's bleeding because she hit the table and cut her head open. So I know how that feels. That was a long time ago when my kids were younger. Delia said, oh, Luna, take care. Yeah, definitely. Straight to the doctor or the hospital to get the stitches, you know. And they'll probably use glue they use glue these days. Xenotron said, Hev, turns out that a former tenant with a grudge called the cops and said there are drugs and guns. Oh, you're kidding. There was nothing here. Oh, my God. Davis said, Menacing Muskrat said, David Morgan, thank you. We're getting better over here. David said 7:25 a.m. in Western Australia. Really? Wow. Xenotron said, I wish the police would have made some kind of call to the owner to at least get the other side of the story before they set upon 6 innocent people. Definitely, Xenotron. Delia said, hope they arrest that former tenant for lies. Yeah. David Morgan said, good value, Muskrat. All things must pass. Time and God heals. I said, I've heard the emergency alerts on the 23rd is very sinister. I've turned all the alerts off. So did everyone else, eyes. Yep. And Gen X with all the love. Alex said, I didn't see that comment. Xenotron training would have been more fitting. Xenotron said there's some kind of ongoing vendetta, but the other person is in the wrong. Hey, Sandy D's Nuts, how you going? Everyone's saying hello. Xenotron said he actually told me before he left all the things he was going to do because he got rightfully evicted. Oh, wow. Alex said, I've turned the alerts off too, eyes. Xenotron said, I didn't think he would follow through though. Xenotron said, but it was intimidating, all the guns and tasers they had. Oh, it would have been. Scary as. I said, Alex, I've had loads of screaming alerts since 2020, but I'm hearing something sinister, so way to go, Alex. D-Lee said, Xena's scary, never know if they're going to plant something. Xenotron said, well, I knew it was okay, but if anything was here, I would have been implicated, accessory, whatever they choose to say. Oh, Missy T said, years ago, Hev, yep. Oh, trans sex worker, yep. Alex said, I don't like Sky News or any of them, but here's some info. There you go. Philip Schofield said F stopped to his brother when he told him about a sex act with a teenage boy. Oh, God. Darren said, hey, everyone, I almost missed the stream. What have I missed? Lots. Everyone's saying hello there. Hey, Zal, how you going? Yeah, I made male and female, not trans or millions of trans. They'll be sorry. You sow what you reap. Reap what you sow. Nursing Oscar said, Darren, want more crazy news? Zal said, I'm sure plenty of dirty old men have come a cropper in Thailand, as you describe, Hev. Yep. Darren said, most blokes I know would have beat the crap out of a woman that got in bed with the dangly bit. Yes, same here, Darren. I know men that would absolutely pound them if that happened. And not in that other way, like this way, you know? Okay. MJ said, shoot, a lighter and hairspray. Yes, that too. Frying pans, yep. Anything in the house. MJ said, hockey stick, baseball bat, crystal rocks. Missy T said, my dog stinky farts. Darren said, it's been illegal here to use force against a burglar for a few years now. Yes, it has. And I don't care. D-Lee said, my dogs will protect me. Nursing Muskrat said, the most valuable metal isn't gold or silver. I invest in lead. Darren said the burglar could actually sue you if they are hurt. I don't care. They could try and sue me. You can't get blood from a stone. I've got nothing. They can have my car. That's all I've got, right? My car. They're going to have that. Take it. I don't care. Xenotron said, I've had 2 home invasions and sadly I was kind of shocked and paralysed, and then 2 seconds later they have an advantage. I failed at being stunning and brave. Yeah, there's always the shock at the beginning. You got to get over that one really quickly. I don't know how I'd go because it's never happened to me before. So I just know that I'd be throwing things left, right and centre. I don't care if I break windows even. Zal said, all you have to do is remain calm and disrupt the assailant's sense of balance, then you crush them. I said, all pedos that hurt babies and children or physically abused, the punishment at the appointed time is death in hell ×2 for eternity, including murder, you sick people. MJ said they can force themselves, but you can't. Oh, boy, no bueno. Nope, yep. Darren said, good choice, Muskrat. Letters excellent for blocking communications and snooping. Sal said, once subdued, tie them up and put them in your boot and drive them to a remote location, then dump them. That's a great idea. Drive them into the middle of nowhere, drop them off and leave them for dead. Susie said, best dog shampoo was peppermint Castile soap. Castile soap, I've been trying to get some of that. Apparently that's the best soap to use because I think I'm allergic to other soap. I don't know. Darren said, a letter's great at keeping water out of homes. It's also great for putting in the machines and going boom. Zal, I go for the McNuggets part. Darren said, like bog stink or sewer stink. Missy T said, medicinal, of course. MJ said, yes, dump 100% agreed. Alex said, I never use shampoo. My dog Roxy, and she smelt like cookies. Wow. Nursing Muskrat said, Missy T, I know, I'm so off. Darren said, you must eat some weird cookies, Alex. Susie said, have you taught your chickens to whistle and tweet, Hev? No, but they all, start clucking when I go anywhere near them. I don't know how to teach them to whistle and tweet. Alex said, everyone used to tell me she did too, was like warm biscuits. Darren said, how can chickens tweet? They can't even read. Zal said, the cabal are sending out their MK Ultra minions across the board, desperately upsetting the scheme of things in our society. That's what it seems like. Nursing Muskrat said, thumbs up, folks, thank you. Alex said, she honestly smelled sweet, Darren. I never put her in the bath because she hated it and I respected her wishes. Darren said, maybe they meant air biscuits. Susie said, Alex, I think dog paws and tummies smell like corn chips. Alex said, she was short, hairy, staffy, my little... Aww. I said, Hebs, the cops in Melbourne back in 2020 are evil, and this cop trying to strangle a woman, he looked possessed, pure evil. Yep. Darren said, did you have a special diet for her? Alex said, I miss both my boggos so much. They were sent to me from God, and I know they're waiting for me at the Rainbow Bridge when I called back home. Oh. I said, Alex, I don't understand what you mean. Darren said, I have a few waiting for me, Alex. Even in heaven, you'll have a hard time getting big enough space for all your furry ones. Mrs. out to lunch. How you going? Hey, guys and girls, just popping in. Donna loves Fred, and Fred loves Donna. Alex said, not really, but I used to give her a teaspoon of coconut oil every now and again. Her coat was so glossy, I never gave her a bath. About the doggies. Darren said, you were lucky, Alex. I only thought the cats would self-clean efficiently. Out to lunch, said, I was on the road. Cool. I said, Alex, I miss my German Shepherds and other dogs and 3 kitty cats in heaven. Yeah, I've got some cats in heaven and a few dogs as well. I used to have a Rottweiler named Lady. And she ended up with hip dysplasia and not being able to walk, and that was really sad and the breeder's bloody fault. Anyway. She was such a gentle dog, mate. My son used to lay across her, like he was only 2, but he'd lay across her. She'd just lay there and take it. And she had such a soft face. She didn't have that Rottweiler face, she didn't have that. She had the big eyes. She was very soft, looking Rottweiler, and I loved her. Oh my God. Out to lunch said, chickens can play a little piano. Out to lunch said, put coconut oil in our coffee. Alex said, yes, Darren, looking forward to play with them all again one day. I have rats, cats, and dogs. Animals are awesome. Menacing Muskrat said, I'm so sad. Why? David said, is that because your mum, Menacing Muskrat? David said, I don't bathe my cats and they smell like chocolate. I said, rats, Alex, what the? Deb said, sorry, had to pop out to get my daughter. That's okay. Mrs. Out to Lunch said, I love coconut oil. And Fred, oh, God love you. Susie said, Alex, my 3 dogs passed quite close together for 2 years. We'd hear the sound of their nails on the wooden floor walking around or the tinkling of collar tags. I heard my cat meowing for years after, months after he passed away. I would hear he had a unique meow, and I would hear it. That was horrible. Dealey said, oh, Muskrat, what can we do for you? Darren said, they'll be more awesome in heaven when you don't have to clean them after them or worry about food. Out to Lunch said, oh, we are going to change your picture. Alex said, I think mammals, including humans, aren't supposed to have shampoo strip our hair? Deb said, I'm so frustrated by her. She's been homeless for so many years. Alex said, my rats acted like dogs. Menacing Muskrat said, Dealey, it'll just take time. I'll be okay. Thank you. Oh, God love you, Menacing Muskrat. Prayers for Muskrat and Luna's daughter. Was it daughter, I think? David said, don't let those simpering toadies from the Rat Protection Society to spoil your rat recipes. Okay, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to go. And I'll be back on Saturday morning, Friday night for you guys. I'm going to play the intermission as the outro for a change, just so you can have some Aussie scenery. Okay, guys, have a good one. Much love to you all, and I'll see you soon. Hang on. Is that working? Just wanted to say to you, that's where I live. See this view here? The Blue Mountain.